So for this deck that I showcased in an earlier video, I thought it was a good idea to show what can happen if your hand is not perfect and how to use it anyway. So I prepared a bunch of replays. Some are very elementary, like if you start with Archosaur and no other starters. And this situation is the reason you play at least one Link 1 generic monster. Because you need to banish Archosaur with Miscellaneousaurus. And from there it's the same combo. I let it play, but we'll interrupt it next time it is unnecessary. That's it. So you can see the field is exactly the same as in the video setting, the previous video, where you have this in graveyard, you have snow in graveyard, you have this returning to your hand on the end phase, and everything else is the same. Now, if you open with Scrap Raptor and Miscellaneousaurus, this is what you can do. The end board is not as good. Well, it's nowhere near as good, actually. But you still have some level of interaction. So the idea is that you special summon on the end phase of Raptor to prepare for your next turn to be a lot better. And you still have Masquerina and this interaction for the opponent turn, so hopefully you can survive and do whatever you prepared with. This can be any dinosaur, no level restriction, so you can search Ultimate Conductor, you could search Pankratops, you can search the Kaiju, you can search Miscellaneousaurus, whatever you feel is better. Now, if you open Scrap Raptor, Miscellaneousaurus and Lost World, you can do this instead. I should not have made the barricade blocker, but it's to have more things in graveyard to banish. But as you see, it was not necessary, so you could make an extra negation on Appaloosa instead. Or banish the field spell, because it's no longer active and it will be replaced with the Orcust field spell later anyway. So yeah, this Appaloosa should be bigger, but the idea is the same. Now, if you open with just Scrap Raptor and the other cards are bricks, your ending board is not good. So this is just for emergencies, I guess. So as you see, it's the usual, and a Masquerina for Unicorn, which is not completely terrible, but not good. Now, if you only have Oviraptor and Lost World, you can do this one. So, as you see, I can interrupt here. The only difference is that there's no evolution pill. Well, let's watch it anyway. And there's no rank 4. Well, you can do it actually. But you need this as a material, so instead you can just keep the Rex on and use it. As material for Masquerina, or use this and it's the same, but this is decent. The difference is there's no Abyss Dweller and no Pankratops or Conductor. Now, you can also start the combo with Pankratops if you have a non-dinosaur in hand that is and you open with Evolution Pill or a way to search it. And Lost World. Lost World is crucial. So yeah, you summon Pankratops very fast and destroy this token. And from here it's the same combo, but you cannot use another pill because it has a once per turn restriction. So it's the same combo. And if you banished a non-dinosaur that is important, you can recover it with the Nemeses Keystone. Now, similar to Raptor and whole handy bricks, you can also start with Girsu and the whole handy bricks. And the ending board is very similar. So the only difference is there's an extra material for Masquerina here, and you give the opponent a token, which sometimes can help you a lot against decks like Numeron that need to control no monsters. But yeah. Now, let's start with the situations in which one of your combo pieces is not available in the deck. So for example, if you mill Girsu with Joyous because it's random, and this kind of situations is why you always search this before you summon Joyous. So here it is, you send the snow and 3 at random, and among this you need this card to be in the deck. So what you do is activate snow, banish it, and recover it with Nemeses Keystone. So you see it's no longer here. And from here on it's the same combo. Now, if Scrap Golem is in hand, this one is very unfortunate, because Scrap Recycler misses timing if you summon it with the Wyvern effect. So you actually need to get it back in the deck. So as you see, we banished it with Evolution Pill, and we recycle it with Nemeses Keystone. So now we can summon Wyvern. Here it's worth saying that if you have the field spell, you don't have to destroy a card you own. If you have a useless spell like a second pill, you can destroy it instead and use this as material for Link Summon. But this is assuming nothing else is in hand. So. And so yeah. You could have chosen to summon a 2 negation Appaloosa instead of this. It's your choice. Now, this is what to do if Fairy Tale Snow is in hand. And paradoxically, this actually helps you. The reason I start with this is because I need to banish something extra, because there's no curious meals. You'll see. So this would be usually the point in which we make curious, but we don't need to because this is in our hand. So instead we discard it with this card. And that's the main reason. Well, later we'll see another one to play this card in your extra deck, even though it's super rare in Master Duel. And the reason I said opening Snow actually helps you, it's because this gets access to 3 negates instead of 2. And from here on it's the same combo as usual. So yeah. Now this is if you open with Girsu in hand. It's very similar to what we did with Golem in hand, but we can wait a little further, which is better. So, as you see, we haven't yet banished it. Now we do. After the Curious Meals. And for here it's the usual, because we already recycled it with Nemeses Keystone. Now if you open with Harp Horror in hand, it's more similar to Snow in hand. Because we'll also use the Barricade blocker. Actually, I should mention that you have a choice to make. Here. So, you can do the same as in the Golem line, where you banish it now, recycle it now, and then mill it with this. But then you risk that the Curious Mills will include Girsu, and if that happens you cannot recycle it anymore because you already used this. So the safer line is to summon Scrap Recycler without milling a machine. Or you can send the skeleton bone, the one that revives from a graveyard, but then you increase the odds that you'll mill either the Orcust field spell or the Girsu. So I think it's better to not mill at all with the recycle, but you can do it if you want for more fairy tales fuel. So here we discard it. And that's it. So we get a 3 negation Appaloosa instead of a Beast Dweller, but it's still good. And that's all I have, I think. The most unfortunate situation that can happen is if you mill this card, because there's no recovering it until next turn. The good news is that next turn you can use its own effect to recover it, but usually duels end faster than that. Oh, and I should mention I'm no longer using the draw spell for Orcust, and instead I'm using a second copy of Scrap Raptor, because you always want to summon it from the deck, because otherwise as you saw, the combos are worse if it's your starter. We also play Terraforming instead of a third copy of Lost World, because if you already have Lost World, you can search this instead so it doesn't get milled. And finally I replaced Trispania, this, for Unicorn, because it's just more flexible, especially going second. This is a bigger payoff, but it would be a lot better in matched format. So if Master Duel was not best of one, this would be in a side deck probably. So yeah, that's all I've got for this video. I hope it was useful, and good luck if you try the deck.